and welcome to another fantastic episode of Sega Sonic Radio. I'm your host, as always, GX, aka Chris, aka the Spin Dash. As did a bunch of stuff. It was a busy thing that happened where a bunch of stuff happened. And I struggled to get standard episodes out. Hey, we had a couple episodes over the last couple weeks. I just did not have requests for it. But then I did a requests. And as I took it as an opportunity to revamp my back-end request system so that it's easier for me to actually do them. And I sure hope it is actually technically easier now, but boy, I have a very nice interface for me. Maybe I'll show you guys after the show. I'll show you guys a screenshot. If you're watching the VOD, you won't get to see it, but if you're watching live, I don't know, you'll get to see my weird foobar setup and enjoy. With that said, though, I think we're going to kick it off with some Spinbox, because we have a lot of Spinbox tonight. And this one's from Sonic Trainer. Hey, Sonic Trainer. What do you think Chaos 3 and Chaos 5 would look like? I want to say, like, Chaos 3 is just an octopus. Like the bulbous head and, just the tendril. Because Chaos is already kind of a tendrily beast who just kind of reaches water tendrils out. This version would just be, like, octopus structured. Just like if you think of, like, if you think of, like, a cartoon octopus, what you would see in an anime, would look like that, including, like, the big protruding, mouth, snout, whatever you would call it. Chaos 5. What if Chaos 5 had wheels? What if Chaos 5 was like a car? I kind of want to have it be like a water car. Like, I think there's like one of the Skylanders games, the racing one. One of the vehicles has tires made of fire. It'd be like that, but the wheels would be made of water, and the body would be the sort of metal framework that Chaos is made of, except also covered in water. And then you would get to take it in one of the racing games. And Tikal would be the driver of that car in the CrossWorlds. It'd be the correct answer. It'd be the correct way to do it. That's why he was evil. Because he did not have the driver at that point to manage his extreme emotions. We got a request coming up from Sonic Trainer. We also have one early on from Sage. Let's take a look with some Sonic Unleashed, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey, welcome back. That was Boss Battle Night from Sonic Unleashed, requested by Sonic Trainer, followed up by Queen Bella's Ball from Knight's Journey of Dreams, requested by Sage, wrapping it up with Bossy Crow from Billy Hatcher and The Giant Egg. I've been playing a bit of Billy Hatcher recently. I was reminded very swiftly how jank that game is. That game is a lot of jank. I found it immediately kind of frustrating for GameCube era novelty platformer, whatever you'd call it. Yeah, it sure is. I occasionally hear people like, bring back Billy Hatcher, and I've always questioned, like, why? And now even more so after reminding myself how it felt. It's like, I don't think there's a lot of places for a game like that to go. I think we already have a Katamari, and we have a good Katamari. It's called Katamari. They released some recent ones. You can have more Katamari. It doesn't have the platforming aspects, but also I'm not sure the platforming aspects work out that way. Just as a reminder, since it came up in chat here, we don't accept requests during the show. If you want to submit a request, you're going to head over to sonicstadium.org whenever we put up the new request thread, which will probably be on Monday, or you can join our Discord, or you can follow us on Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever, and when our new request thread goes up on Monday, you'll have a week to get it in. But I have the playlist all set for tonight already, so consider that your reminder for tonight. Our shows go by theme, and tonight's theme is Monstrous. We want the monster-y monstrous, monsterish, monster-related monster nonsense. Nobody requested Monster Mash, thank you, because that probably would have got us ID'd, but we got some great video game monstery sounds, including one from Knuckles requested. But before that, he has a Spinbox. What's called a jukebox, Spinbox. Knuckles asks, you get to make Sega do Sonic crossover with another franchise. What franchise do you pick? And what medium? Could I just make them make more OKKO? Could I force their hand to do that? That might be one of the options. Like, for me, it's gonna be game. Like, I like game. Game is thing that I like. And thinking about this ahead of time before the show, the place where I kind of landed was Katamari. Which is why I said Katamari when I did. I like the idea of just, you have the print still rolling the Katamari, except the Katamari is a Sonic character. And the Sonic characters want the prince to help them with whatever tasks. Maybe you have Sonic in the environment being like, oh, roll me around, I want to collect and pick up all these rings. As Sonic's body slowly expands as you fill him with rings. Or maybe you have Eggman in the hovercraft, and as you roll him around, he's just collecting small animals from the environment until he's just a massive sphere of furry little creatures. It'd be perfect. Be great. You roll around big. He needs to get fish. Then you send him up to the heavens to make a big planet. That's what you do. No! I will not stop Escape. I will not stop. If you would like to learn more, search Sonic Inflation on Google. Save search off. Oh, Knuckles has a request. He wants to hear some Skies of Arcadia. We also have some requests from the Karma Collector. Enjoy. And I'll catch you guys in a bit. Hey, welcome back. That was Giga's theme from Skies of Arcadia, requested by Knuckles87, followed up by Dinosaur Jungle from Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, as requested by the Karma Collector. Wrapping it up with the boss theme from Rocket Knight Adventures. The version... There are so many interesting bosses in that game, but the one that, like, to me is very striking of that particular song is the Rock'em Sock'em Robots boss fight with Axel, the giant pig androids that you pilot and make punch each other. I don't know why I associate that one with that specific song, because it's used for every boss, basically, but feels like the one that would go with, for some reason. Anyhow, it's about the first part of the show that we bring out a quiz, and I think it's time to bring out a quiz, so let's bring out a quiz. It's a Quizzone! As always, I give you a Sonic trivia question. You are welcome to guess in chat if you want. If you don't want to guess in chat, you don't have to. I ain't gonna make you. I ain't your real dad. But you can always hide chat, and we'll let you know the answer afterwards. This Quizzone question is about some Sonic Mania. In Sonic Mania, the Mirage Saloon, Act 1 boss comes from what previous Sonic game? Get your guesses in. And while you do, here's some Skyway Octane. Enjoy. Welcome back. That was indeed Skyway Octane from Sonic Mania. Once again, your Quizzone is... In Sonic Mania, the Mirage Saloon Act 1 boss comes from what previous Sonic game? Sonic Trainer guessed it. It is Sonic Chaos. It is a reprise of the Gigalopolis Zone boss. Though it looks a different color scheme, but everything else is there. The sort of clear dome top, the antennae, the caterpillar-like face. Basically, it's like a big old caterpillar, but with strange robot head. going on. I guess the whole thing is Strange Robot Head, but yeah, it's one of the many references in Sonic Mania that you could find and recognize if you played other Sonic games. And if you don't recognize it, now you know. You know it now. That's what just happened now. If you did not know that trivia, now you know that trivia. It's how it works. The trivia. Hey! You got a Spinbox. This Spinbox is from Dodo. Opinions on Final Fantasy XIV Evercold. I hear there may be Evas. Those are monsters, right? Evas certainly represent the monster that is humanity. In a way. It represents the monstrous nature of humankind. But, also... Final Fantasy XIV is one of those games where it's like... I know people who are very extremely into it. And all of the things that they have described are, I find, unfathomably I wanted to say imitating. It's not imitating. It's intimidating. Searching for the right word there. Functionally, I've heard that basically it's like a 200-hour single-player RPG that you can kind of play with friends. Is what it has been pitched to me as. That if you really wanted to just, I don't know, have 200 hours of RPG for free, and then go into a subscription model where you can go into a, I don't know, tri-yearly expansion thing, you could do it, and that it's a pretty darn good RPG because within that structure, and that you can chase a ridiculous amount of side content if you want. I follow people who are just, like, trying to get all of the fish, and it sounds like an insane task because some of them require very, very specific and very small time frames that they are available that people have kind of deduced through, I don't know, experience and calculations. I know people who are incredibly into the fashion aspects. It's I don't know what to make of it, but I'm just not an MMO person. I'm not good at playing games on a schedule. Right now, like, the only game I'm playing that I am maintaining, and maintaining is a very heavy air quotes, is I'm just playing some Baba Is You before bed or after I wake up. And even then, I'm not even doing that every day. So the idea of trying to stay to dailies is not immediately appealing to me, but it certainly sounds great for the people who are very interested in doing it. And I briefly watched a trailer. I had no idea what was happening. I'm sure maybe if you are steeped within the lore of the world, it might mean something, but it meant nothing to me. It felt like RPG. Oh, Sonic Trainer, there's too many games. There's too many games inside of FF14. Like, that's my immediate reaction, is it's not just that there's too many games, including FF14, it's that there's too much in FF14 on its own. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. But we have a request from Dodo. We also have one from Hasbomi. And we're gonna jump over to the first monster of Sonic Frontiers. Enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in a bit.
I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me.
Hey, welcome back. That was Undefeatable, requested by Dodo, followed up by Heroes, an OC remix, requested by Hasbomi from Monster Hunter. You can find it and so many other remixes over at ocremix.org. That one was specifically remixed by Fennekin and Frederick Hathen. I know I'm mispronouncing that in some way, but I don't know how to pronounce it properly, so I apologize. Oh yeah, and Blue on the Run from Sonic and Secret Rings. This is good music. This is music. It's music for Captain Plymouth. You know the Captain Plymouth. You put the Captain Plymouth, and it's the music from there. That's where the music's from. That's where they keep it. They keep it right there. It's where they have it. We have a Spinbox. All week you've been sending me Spinbox questions, and this is one of them. What do you think about a movie adaptation of DC CrossSonic from Epically Epic Guy? I think it's scary. I think it is terrifying that it is potentially more realistic right now, considering the state of what Paramount is attempting to do in purchasing Warner. That makes me extremely uneasy, inherently. I'm trying to think of like what you would do with the movie. The biggest problem I have with it is I did not like the comics. I thought the comics were incredibly boring. I think there was one interesting one that was it was mostly novelty. The one where Sonic and Company went and fought the DC Rogues Gallery. Like that one was okay. But then you had the one where the where the DC superheroes went to try to fight the Sonic Rogues Gallery, and you quickly remember that, like, oh right, Sonic doesn't have enough villains in this series. That's an ongoing problem with the series. And the ones he does have, it's like Dr. Eggman, a series of monsters who don't really have meaningful agency, and then the Deadly Six. And then you could possibly have some others that are exclusive to the comics, but in that original comic, it seemed like they weren't as willing to, you know, reach out to the extended universe, per se. Hopefully they course correct with the second one. Like, it feels like it has a little more potential with Dr. Eggman and Lex Luthor being a little bit more involved together. That seems like there might be room for something. But I struggle with crossovers. The real answer is like, you have to make a crossover where, if you're going to do a crossover, you need to have a crossover where characters can interact across the brands as characters. And so much of what the DC X Sonic or DC Cross Sonic crossover was like, hey, you have quality. I also have quality. That creates a connection to us. We're gonna dress up and fight each other's villains and stuff. And it's not like there's real conflict. There's no real connection there. It's just the sort of, hey, this character kind of has stuff like this character. Let's make you think of both of those things at the same time. Which, for branding purposes, sure, I guess that's fine. For writing a story, that's awful. It's not really practical. So I guess my immediate reaction is I probably don't want to see it unless I knew there was someone really good behind the directing and writing who has a vision of, like, what kind of stories you could tell with a crossover like that. But that's about all I could say, is, like, it doesn't inherently interest me. Yet, I have yet to be sold on the premise. Maybe this May, whenever, May or June, or whenever the next crossover comics come out, maybe I'll become a believer. But I'm sure not right now. Yeah, Sonic Trainer over here, bringing back the memories of, Universe, Worlds Collide? Worlds Collide was the first, Mega Man crossover. Where they betray each other. Like, yeah, they're gonna try to find a way to betray each other if they get the chance. Yeah. 'Cause there's Worlds Collide, which people generally like, and there's Worlds Unite, which I might be the only human who likes it because it's stupid. And then you have a bunch of Sonic fans who's like, it's not good. It's like, it's not, it's like, they don't take it as seriously, like, I don't know. They showed me Styx taming a Gormagala. I like that. That was funny. I don't have high expectations of crossovers to begin with. If you can make me laugh with one, that's at least something, I suppose. You had Alex Kidd fight with rock, paper, scissors. That made me laugh. So, thank you for the Spinbox. We've got a request from Epically Epic Guy, and we've got one from Clara the Cat. Let's head over to some Sonic Unleashed with some fighting music. Enjoy. Hey, welcome back. Those were some songs, specifically Werehog Battle Theme from Sonic Unleashed, requested by Epically Epic Guy, followed up by BioLizard from Sonic Rumble, requested by Clara the Cat. Wrapping it up with DNA Lab, the theme of Helix from ARMS. The game for those with the gift of arms. I sure did try that game. It did not... It was okay. It's okay. It was okay. But you know what else is okay? You know what's the most okay? It's this battle theme. That's right, it's time for... No, it's not a time for a fight. It's not time for a fight at all. What are we doing here? No, it's not time for a fight. It's time for In the Loop. My mistake. Apologies. In the Loop this week, I had a question for you. That question is, super forms excluded. Who's best equipped to handle a Kaiju attack? With all the Sonic and Godzilla nonsense afoot, I wanted you to tell me, who's gonna fight? Who's gonna fight the big monster? Who fights the big lizards, man? Who's gonna attack the atomic guy? What with the stomping? Glimmer suggests, I think Shadow would handle a Kaiju attack by using Chaos Control to move him to a different location that's far away from civilization before unleashing his full power to the max, finishing it off with a Chaos Blast. I have to tell you, I do enjoy going to Dairy Queen to get a Chaos Blast. I like my Chaos Blast with, like, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I think that's my favorite flavor of Chaos Blast. Sonic Trainer says, I think Silver is the best at fighting giant monsters. Being able to catch and throw almost anything is pretty OP. Pretty broken. SSJ22 Terrace says, Dr. Eggman. He's got the resources and big enough mechs. Granted, he doesn't have the best track record, Dark Gaia, Perfect Chaos, etc. But I still think he's got the best odds overall. He has, like, a small army of, like, big robots. The downside is, like, a lot of them get beat up by, like, a 1.5 foot tall hedgehog man. Despite the fact that, like, it's about 12 times his size. Okay. Real talk. Real talk. They can't, they have to, in that little comic series, they have to have a fight between one of the, Death Egg robots, or, like, Death Egg-like robots, and one of the Kaiju, right? Like, they have to. They can't not do a fight like that. They gotta. They gotta. If they don't, then, like, they've completely lost their thread there. They gotta. Right? Right? Epically Epic Guy says, Shadow. I mean, he took on the BioLizard all by himself, right? But honestly, most characters could do it. Perfect Chaos is pretty much a Kaiju himself. Yeah, kinda. You could have the Perfect Chaos fight that. You could have the BioLizard fight a Kaiju. It basically is a Kaiju, kind of. You could have Neo Metal Overlord. That one. You could have the other version of Metal Sonic that is also giant from Knuckles Chaotix. Oh! You could have the giant Knack robot, or giant Fang robots. Have that fight a Kaiju. There's your ticket money. There's your ticket money. Karma Collector says, Dr. Eggman might be able to face down a raging kaiju-type monster, given how his machines are programmed to attack with various weaponry. Then again, we saw him face down Perfect Chaos at the end of Sonic Adventure, and that didn't work so well with him. Maybe Shadow could also do the same, and without his super form, he would be able to use Chaos powers, such as Spear or Blast, to good use, especially when taking on hostile creatures and monsters. And then, if he took off his inhibitor rings, well, we saw what happens when he took on Mephiles and his clones. The effects could be devastating. I'm thinking like you could have weird gooey wings, Shadow, just flying around, just spraying like tiny zaps at him. There you go. Shadow is the one who rides Mothra. They're the ones who team up. We got our answer here. I don't think Shadow's actually suggested to be in the crossover quite yet, so I don't know. Sage says, Dr. Eggman is best equipped to handle a kaiju attack. He'll send the Egg Fleet to sort it out. Like I said, it's probably Eggman's fault that a kaiju attacked in the first place. Everyone's ready to, like, say, yeah, it's probably Dr. Eggman who's most prepared, but he's gonna screw it up, ain't he? We've all played too many of these games. We all know how the Sonic story goes. Keanu the Hedgehog says, this might be a tough guess, but I'm going to pick Sage, because she'll assume any Titan form from Starfall Islands to assist her in battle. That's certainly a unique one. Nobody else suggested Sage. You figure she can have, I don't think full influence, but at least partial influence on the dang Titan enemy things. Just fight kaiju against kaiju. Just have what the swordy one. I don't know what the sword one's called. Because I think there's a different thing called knight, but it looks like a knight. Where you have to hit the sword back. Knuckles says, I'm gonna say Eggman in his giant kaiju-sized mechs. I don't know, worst case, he can drop a death egg on one. Oh no! Oh no! We're gonna commit some Gundam-esque war crimes to defeat a Godzilla. Oh boy. So thank you all for your submissions, and thank you all for voting in last 3 weeks ago's music fight. Maybe 4 weeks. That's right, it's time for the music fight. We pit two songs against each other in the arena of popular demand. Option Screen from Sonic Game World and Dreamy Well from Sonic Shuffle. Your winner, with 91% of the votes, is here. That was Dreamy Well, your winner of the week from Sonic Shuffle. Let's preview next week's bout. You'll be able to vote between Catch Me If You Can from Sonic Riders or White Space CrossWorlds Remix from Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I will get that poll up by the end of the show tonight and link it in the chats, and then it will go up alongside the request thread on Monday as well. So whether you're watching the VOD on Twitch or watching it live right now, get a guess in. I will tell you there is a correct choice. I won't say which choice is the correct choice, but I will say there is a correct choice. And I will hold it against all of you if you choose wrong. That's your music fight for next week. In the meantime, we got one more well, not one more. We got two more spin boxes, but we got one more before we get back to music. Kaiju the Hedgehog asks, if Sonic and his friends were gym leaders to the Pokemon universe, which Pokemon type experts will they be and which gym badge will they represent? Well, I would say I'm just going to go... All I'm going to do here for this one, I'm just going to associate some Pokemon elements. That's all I feel comfortable doing right now. Otherwise, it's going to take all night. I'm going to say, okay, Sonic... I'm going to say Sonic is electric. Like, he would have electric-type Pokemon because of electricity, speed. I feel like it would make the most sense. Tails is obviously flying-type. Yeah, Tails would be flying-type because Dr. Eggman would be steel-type. Amy would be fighting. Oh, but wait, no, because Knuckles would be ground or rock. So yeah, Amy would be fighting. Knuckles would be either ground or rock. Wait, No, I feel confident with that choice. Sonic Trainer's right. Cream can be fairy. Sonic Trainer and Escape both mentioned it. Let's say, Big would be water. The Deadly Six, whichever one they would choose, would be dark. No, but I guess Shadow would Shadow would be fire, I think. Vector, though. Vector, I think with Vector you get like Vector feels like he's got strong normal type. Like Vector's gonna be out there having like the what is it? The frogs that vibrate and attack with vibration. I think that's what you got there. Espio. I would have said Espio would be Ghost. Yeah, Espio would be Ghost. And Charmy, yeah, definitely Charmy would be Bug. You guys, I don't know, you guys have better ideas than I would. Shout out in the chat in the comments with your selections for them, because I can tell you whatever you pick is going to be better thought through than what I'm doing here. So we've got a request here from Keanu the Hedgehog. We also got one from Court X Games. Enjoy! Catch you guys in a bit. Hey, that was Versus Dark Gaia, as requested by Keon the Hedgehog from Sonic Unleashed, followed up by Egg Cerberus and Egg Genesis from Sonic 06, requested by Cortex Games, followed up by Battle Alpha from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Can't ignore the big monsters over in the Big Monster franchise. Since we're talking about Pokemon anyway, might as well have some Pokemon. I lost track of where we are in the show. We got next to the show. Okay, next up in my notes. I'm looking at the notes. According to the notes, I'm supposed to do this. Bring up this Spinbox from Glimmer. So what the next thing I am instructed to do is. Glimmer asks, if there's ever a moment where you had motivation to write a story based on your favorite show or game, but then suddenly lost motivation to do it, what do you do to help gain it back and keep that momentum? Honestly, I'm kind of, unless I have, like, more strong obligations to keep that momentum, my feeling on it is kind of like, maybe I'm not as invested. Like, that if I feel like I'm losing motivation on it, I'm kind of wondering, I would be sitting there wondering, like, okay, is this the thing that I want to do with my time? Like, I'm someone who has many hobbies. Like, I maintain a rather large media collection. I collect and build Legos, both prepackaged and my own designs. I have programming projects that I like to do. I have maintenance of a household that I need to do. I write for the site here. I do streams for the site here. A lot of times whenever I kind of run out of motivation in one thing, I shift to something else that I find interesting at the time. Either that, I would say the next thing that I would say is just trying to approach it from a different angle. Find an aspect of it, of what I'm looking at, that maybe interests me a bit more than where the project is at right now, and kind of think about, like, different ways that you could approach it from that perspective. I've been trying to brainstorm some other stream series ideas for the site, and I kind of came up with one today. I've had this idea in my head of, like, playing other mascot platforming games in the context of Sonic. And I might actually have something that I finally might want to pursue with it. But you know, looking for a hook that would make sense for the site and such. But yeah, sometimes just stepping away from it is healthy. Like, looking at other things, seeing what you can take away from other interests or hobbies, or in this case, like, franchises or things, you know. Like, I'm the kind of person who, like, if I'm not feeling it, I'm usually not gonna try to jam my way through it. But if I can find a hook that, like, I could maybe stick with it, then, you know, I'm willing to see it through as far as I'm comfortable seeing it. I will tell you, the last couple years have taught me, like, I don't have to force myself to do something that I don't want to do if it's an optional thing. Like, I decided early on, like, after the second movie, like, I don't really need to watch much more of the Paramount Sonic films. I kind of figured out partway through, like, these aren't for me. I don't think I need to deal with this. Much to the pain of my co-hosts over and co-writers over on Stadium. But, like, you know, sometimes you just kind of have to make the wise assessment of where your interests actually are. And, you know, be honest to that and maybe figure out if, you know, if there's an interesting angle that you could bring yourself back in or spin it, or, you know, just decide, well, I can do something else, and if I ever feel like coming back to it, then maybe I'll come back to it. Now, obviously, all of that is like, hey, if this is just a single personal project, you have that, where you have that degree of creative control, that's always the option, but more than that, like, if it's like a collaborative work, that gets a little bit murkier, and you have to make some smart assessments on like that. I will tell you the number one thing that helps for me and puts me in the right mood for that kind of stuff is listening to soundtracks and music associated with it. If I'm trying to get a vibe, soundtracks and music, like, legitimately help me get me into the right mindset to work within something. And especially, like, other forms of media, like movies and TV, that I think has the vibe that I'm looking for. I can usually go back to that kind of stuff for some inspiration. Like, when I get depressed, usually the thing to perk me up is watching a lot of One Piece. One Piece, like, directly affects my emotional state and kind of pumps me up a fair bit. And be like, oh, I feel like crap. I'm gonna go back to watching more One Piece. Like, oh, yeah, I have energy now. Watching this child punch institutional corruption and rot has brought me back to where I need my head to be. We've got a request from Glimmer. We've also got a request from MFA, so let's kick it off with some Sonic Adventure. And then I'll catch you guys on the other side. Departed. That song ended mid-yawn. How'd that happen? I must need sleep. That was Chaos version 6 from Sonic Adventure, requested by Glimmer, followed up by Time Eater version 1, requested by MFA from Sonic Generations, wrapping it up with Dragon Slayer from Sonic and the Black Knight. We could have a quiz. Maybe a quiz will wake me up. I think we're asking for a quiz. We need a quiz around here. Quizzes are what we need. It's really valuable to have a quiz right now, and it's an audio cue. We all love a good audio cue. You just have to guess what game the song's from. You can guess in chat if you want to, but you don't have to guess in chat. You can kind of wait and see if you get it right on your own, without the help of the community. But if you want to guess in chat, you can. I'm not going to stop you. What Sega published game is this song from? In the middle of it, I will give you a little bit of a clue. But I think we're gonna get some correct guesses with this one. I think this one has a high chance of getting some good ones. So enjoy. back. Once again, your audio cue is what Sega published game is this song from? With a hint of that track was from the arcade version, and Knuckles and Escape got it. That was indeed Altered Beast. It was Rise from Your Grave, the theme of Round 1 and Round 4, the arcade version of Altered Beast. Felt it was an appropriate choice for this week's theme. Game about becoming a monster. Whether that monster be the wolf, a bear, man, or a dragon. You could be a dragon in the Altered Beast. The Dragon Man. As you either punch or kick, with those being your primary interactions. Altered Beast is not a good game. It's kind of an interesting game. It's definitely not a good game. But it sure is iconic for Sega historically. I kind of feel like I went back to I went back to the Castlevania collection and looked through some of the supplemental material, the anniversary collection with a lot of the 2D side-scroller games. And the early 2D side-scroller games, I should specify. And I liked the way that it felt like it couched it in this kind of soft language of like, oh yeah, it's very challenging, but we think that the challenge in it is very rewarding as you get better at it, which is kind of code for like, no, we made this thing freaking unfair, like horribly unfair, that you're gonna smash your head against a wall for like hours and hours and attempts in order to make it happen. That's just gonna be what you have to do. And I feel like if you pinned Sega to try to contextualize Altered Beast, you'd probably get the same. But yeah, Golden Axe and Altered Beast were two games banned in the house. I will tell you, you weren't missing much. Streets of, like, if you're gonna go for Sega Genesis beat 'em up, like, Streets of Rage is the series to go for. Golden Axe is just okay. Like, I've heard people attempt to go to bat for it, but I don't know. I've played Golden Axe. I don't think Golden Axe feels like the impressive parts of it are just like, well, you can ride a thing. Do you want to ride a thing? Do you want to get a bag from that elf? You could do it. You get the bag item from the elf. That's cool, right? You could be the gnome guy, or the dwarf, or whatever he would be. You could be the lady. You could be the shirtless guy. I don't love Golden Axe, but you know, like Sega made a lot of different varied attempts at like trying to capture that beat 'em up genre. Like you get to weird stuff like Alien Storm at one point, which kind of brings that whole style to this more goofy, gross out sci-fi nonsense. You of course have your Streets of Rage. I'm trying to like Shinobi isn't quite that, but some of the early Shinobi games definitely feel like they have the spirit of the beat 'em up, or at least the arcade style of a platformer. Which is to say, everything's very big and everything's extremely deliberate. And in that way, like, it almost feels like Altered Beast and the early Shinobi games are almost kindred spirits in that regard. Just sort of like, there's not a lot that you can do, but the things that you choose to do in the moment have to be incredibly deliberate. And you just have to kind of have to recognize what you have to do, which of the motions you have to do in which moment. But does anyone remember Kid Chameleon? I remember Kid Chameleon. Kid Chameleon's, like, alright. It's kind of an interesting novelty. I think it's a little more interesting than, like, Altered Beast, for sure. But, like, you know, I think it gets a little bit long in the tooth and runs out of ideas partway through, but, like, as a concept, you know, just having the different costumes that you can change into different forums and try to tackle the different platforming challenges in those kinds of ways, it's kind of neat. We got a couple more requests, but not in this trio. We got our last 2 requests down at the end, so if you haven't heard yours yet, it's probably coming up. But in the meantime, here is some Sonic Forces. Enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in a bit.
No matter what may come my way, we have the odds, we'll make them
welcome back. Those were some songs, specifically the songs that they were Virtual Enemies, theme of Capital City from Sonic Forces. You might know it best as the Future City level, where Infinite starts going crazy and makes big infinite monsters all over the city. Followed up by Black Bull from Shadow the Hedgehog, wrapping it up with Deep Core from Sonic Rush Adventure. We got one more Spinbox tonight from SSJ22 Terrace. Are you a fan of Godzilla movies? And if so, which era is your favorite? Godzilla, I would not. Godzilla's it's interesting. I don't think I get to call myself much of a tokusatsu fan in general. But I like the aesthetics of it. I like the idea of it. Like, there are aspects that I find interesting and appealing. But I don't think there's a specific, like, Godzilla at all that I would really, really go to bat for. Like, I've watched, like just of any tokusatsu at all, I have watched a bit of, Kamen Rider. And I've absorbed some Godzilla here and there. It's hard because it's hard for me not to just lean into, well, I'm a big filthy MST3K fan. I like the ones that are on MST3K. Rift Tracks did Mothra. I like the am I just going to straight up lean into the old black and white era? And the answer might be yes. The answer might be, like, what's the cheesiest version of Godzilla? Because it might be that. It might be the original black and white era where it was just kind of trying to find itself and just making the weird, awkward pair-ups, where it didn't necessarily, Knuckles in chat is saying, I would prefer Showa, it's goofy. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I'm gonna sit here and make references, like, I could sit here and just make weird references to Gamera, Friend of All Children, if only because of my MST3K connections. With, like, that sure, I'm talking about a different franchise, but, like, that's the spirit I'm coming into it with, so, I don't know. I think the thing that I've always had trouble getting into Godzilla with is your protagonist, well, heavy air quotes protagonist, because that changes frequently. Your protagonist isn't a character in the same way. Because your characters are a bunch of people who are reacting to your protagonist, who is a force of nature. So you get a lot of weird... You get a lot of, like... There's one scientist, but then there's another scientist with them, but then there's a child or several children associated with the story. It's like, okay, am I invested in any of these characters? The answer's probably no. The answer's not really a strong yes there. So it's just like, okay, I go for the monster fights. Well, the monster fights, like, it's okay. How much can you do, like, how convincing can you do the weird, fancy destruction and wrestling between these big two-costume characters? And I don't know. I think as someone who's not a wrestling person, it kind of goes over my head a little bit. But like I said, I like the idea of it. And I don't know why. It might just be it's old and it's weird, which are two things that appeal to me conceptually. Because I'm also old and weird. Maybe that's where I'm landing. Godzilla reminds me that I'm old and weird. We've got a request from Terrace as well from Sonic Lost World. And we've got something from Kabuki as well. Enjoy. And we might even have like a cool remix in there. I'll see you guys on the other side. That ought to clean out your ears. That's Dr. Eggman Showdown from Sonic Lost World, requested by SSJ22 Terrace. Followed up by Supporting Me from Sonic Adventure 2, requested by Kabuki. Wrapping it up with an OC remix, Quicksander by ACOE. You can find that and so many more great remixes over at ocremix.org. Go check them out. That was a remix from Sonic & Knuckles specifically. Oh, we are about wrapping up the night. We still got a song or two left in us, but as you know, my opinions are my own, but the show broadly is under the banner of Sonic Stadium over at sonicstadium.org, one of the internet's longest-running Sonic fan communities. Check it out. We have an active forum. We've got the Discord chat. We've got a little like social accounts over there. We got your Blue Skies. We got Twitters. We got YouTubes. You can go ahead and check out our YouTubes. We got other great video content. And if you haven't checked out our Twitch channel, we got a podcast coming up tonight. Our next episode of Sonic Talk Podcast, where myself and two other members of the Sonic Stadium news team are going to chat about, you know, the goings-on of Sonic news in the last couple weeks. It's been a little busy. Worth checking out. You can also, didn't I say tomorrow night? I thought I said tomorrow night. Not tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. Not tonight. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Saturday night. I must be tired. I must need to go to bed. Anyhow, that's tomorrow. And we might have some more streams. You know, Majima just came out in the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Maybe we got something going on Sunday with that. Worth checking out on the Twitch. Go give it a follow if you haven't yet. It's worth it. You know what else is worth it? Well, probably not this boss battle, but we got one more song for you tonight. And we're gonna close out with a truly monstrous boss battle. We've got Final Boss Battle number 2 from Sonic Superstars, aka the one with Fang. That final boss battle. I think that's the final. I don't know. They just call it Final Boss Battle 2. I don't remember the music, but I think that's what they mean by it. Enjoy. I will catch you guys next week. And welcome to the weekend. Peace, y'all. But I think we need a vibe. I think we need the right vibe to end on. That's a good song, but what if we ended it on the right vibe for this weekend? Joy?